I decided that okay, whatever may happen, at least I can try my best in data insight. Because again, that is a very strong suit for myself. So it was an eye opener for me because I could only score like two correct out of some 10, 15 odd questions. Study plan given by you only works. Whatever we make as per our own convenience does not work at all. You have to ensure that you have to be comfortable for the 700 to 800 range kind of questions. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Today, the celebration and is of your GMAT score, 98 percentile, 695. So the breakdown of the score is 97 percentile on quant, a little dip in the verbal, 67 percentile and 97 percentile in data insight. So overall, when you got this score, how did you feel about the score, Deep?
To be honest, it was a mixed feeling because I did not know that I actually scored that high. So what happened during the exam, especially during the section of verbal, I thought I was doing something very horrible.
Okay.
So I thought maybe I have messed up so badly that I may have to appear again, give another attempt. So that I had applied this kind of order. First, I had gone for quant. It went absolutely fine. Then I went for verbal, and after that I took a break. So during the break, I decided that okay, whatever may happen, at least I can try my best in data insight. Because again, that is a very strong suit for myself. So I
Correct.
think that attitude worked out very well.
True,
But I
true.
thought I think I could have done bit better in verbal as well.
Was it because your preparation did miss out a little, or was it that day was not good? What would you attribute, uh, especially for verbal? What happened on that verbal section day in the exam?
So I had mostly relied on the material provided by top 1%. Uh, and if you look at the top 1% mocks, right, in verbal, the passages are very long. The long passages make me comfortable. Why? Because you tend to get an idea that what these passages are trying to convey. But
Right.
in the actual GMAT, especially in this newer format, focus edition, the passages were very short. The thing is, if you want to get some inference what these passages are trying to convey, there was not much of information available.
Okay.
And that kind of preparation I was lacking. I'm realizing right now. But yeah, if I could have, attempted those kind of passages as well in my mock or preparation, then maybe I could have done better.
Because sir does give both a combination of short and long passages. So did you only focus on one type of passage that happened in the preparation?
So in the preparation, I used to focus on very long passages.
Only, yeah,
The long
okay.
passages
Happened.
is that you have to scroll down a bit.
Right, right.
Paradoxically, I became very comfortable with long passages, but not so comfortable with the shorter passages.
Right, right. All right. So let's just go a little behind, rewind a bit. Can you give a sneak peek into your background? What you currently doing, and what sparked this entire MBA journey for you? Why did you even consider to start, GMAT or an MBA in the first place? What?
Absolutely, yeah. So actually, uh, since my childhood or rather school days, I had been a topper. And, when you are a topper, like throughout, it instills some skill set that, okay, I want to do something based out of my life. So
Correct.
that thing has been there with me throughout.
Right.
And uh, in engineering, so I'm a patient of hard of hearing. So basically, I'm using this advanced hearing aid.
Ah,
So during the childhood or school days, I did not use those hearing aids because we did not have a budget, or rather, we did not even have some advanced technologies available. So
okay.
that time, uh, I studied in Gujarati medium, which is my native language, and my parents, my teachers used to help me a lot. So somehow, I was able to score nicely in school days. Then I joined engineering. In engineering, overnight I had to transition to another language, which is English. Initially, it was very difficult because I was hard of hearing. The hearing aid I was using, it was not very convenient or not very, what we say, not at all useful.
Right.
Somehow I survived in engineering, but again that attitude that okay, I want to do something best out of my life, it was still there with me. So during the placement season, I did not get a decent placement at all. I was rejected by like 20, 25 companies.
Oh
So I
my.
was very devastated because bottom of my heart, I was like that I used to be a topper and what is happening to me right now. So
Right.
I just got together myself. I decided, okay, if I'm not getting jobs, then let me do one thing. Let me try and look out for some other opportunities. So that time I realized that, okay, there is, if you want to do MBA, then you have this entrance exam of CAT, right? For
Right.
Indian people. So I appeared for that and I was not able to score well. It was a decent, like 90 percentile something. So that time again, since I did not have a career capital or, some spike on my resume or anything at all, then I had to join a tier 2B school from India. During the MBA, I tried to do best out of my life. Again, before joining MBA, I got a very lucky break. It was a very long story. Somehow it worked out for me. So I went through a surgery. Using that surgery, I had one implant on my ears. And because of that, I can use a very advanced hearing aid now, which enables me to hear like normal person, like 70, 80% of the normal people. So it boosted up my confidence a lot. During MBA, I could do best out of whatever I could, get. So that time I got a very lucky break of my life. I got a summer internship at JP Morgan Chase. And basic my performance during the internship, uh, I got a pre-placement offer as well. So ever since then, I have been working with JP Morgan as a project manager and business analyst. And again, in JP Morgan, I was lucky enough to find very bright and very people with high ambitions as my colleagues. So uh, I remember my one of my very close friend Karthik Shastri. He used to be ex-student of top 1%. Right now, he's in the Duke University, batch of 2024, I guess. So we worked together for 2 years in the same project. So he used to inspire me that okay, uh, we should do something great out of our lives. So that time, I started realizing that okay, I can do much better in my life. And that time, he told me that why don't you join Sandeep's top 1%. Along with the GMAT coaching, he also provides some very motivating kind of things like just you will just feel like okay, you want to do something great out of your life, that everything else will become secondary. So that time I thought okay, the life is going better. Why will I take some risk, or why will I will get out of my comfort zone? Still I thought okay, let me give a chance. And anyway, I was not very happy with my MBA experience because I wanted to be a part of the top notch B school, which I was not able to somehow realize. So I thought, okay, let me join top one. From the day, the first day session, Sandeep conducts right before he starts giving us the material and all. He gave us like some 10, 15 odd questions for verbal quant. And I used to think that I'm very good at quant and verbal. And it was an eye opener for me because I could only score like two correct out of some 10, 15 odd questions. I realized, okay, now I know what Karthik was talking about and what Sandeep sir is actually. So that time I thought, okay, hands down, I'm going to join the top 1%. No questions asked. And uh, long story short, we are here now. So, I mean,
Deep, I think our interaction, or rather it just ends here because you have been such an inspiration. I mean, I really got like goosebumps, to be very honest. That attitude of just doing the best, wanting the best in life. And it's just not wanting, you in every phase you achieved it. And where you've not achieved, or whichever whatever the situation allowed you to achieve, whatever you can, now you're still not. So the idea of why should I even, go out of my comfort zone will never resonate with you, because then you want the best out of your life. So I think the idea of this should be an inspiration. You yourself is an inspiration to everybody here, in any aspect of life. Really, hats off and salute to you and your spirit, never dying spirit. So good that we are talking right now. So let's just dive a little bit into the GMAT preparation. So what was your entire game plan? So when you initially started, obviously the thought was that you were better with quant and verbal, but then when you dive deeper into the GMAT preparation, what were you struggling more with?
So uh, initially, I was struggling more with font. I thought I was good at math, so I should be definitely, naturally good at font. That
Right,
was not the case.
right,
So since I realized that okay, I was not good at font very initially,
right.
I focused my efforts far more on font. So within like 2, 3 months of joining, I was up in the range of that 50, 51 scoring the folder pattern within 2, 3 months.
Uh,
But the mistake I made was in the section of verbal.
right.
I used to think since I have been reading lots of non-fiction novels as my hobby, so maybe I can, I'm already good at or rather natural at verbal. That was not the case. So also there was one mistake I made. So this detailed study plan you guys give, right? Initially, when we are new, we think that okay, we know everything about ourselves, and these guys they don't even know how we work and all. So let us not just focus on their study plan, rather we will create our own study plan, we'll follow it. But almost all the times it happens that study plan given by you only works. Whatever we make as per our own convenience does not work at all. So I tried to make my own study plan, did not work out. So my initial attempts I was stuck in the range of 690, 670. I was not able to go beyond that. Then I think there was one guy I forgot. I saw his video. Uh, he was the very first person who scored 735 percentile from top one.
Correct.
He mentioned very one simple thing was just follow the study plan given by Sandeep. Don't ask for a bespoke plan. That's it.
Right,
If Sandeep has mentioned that you have to do a pre-work before joining the class or before attending the recorded session, you have to do it. If Sandeep has said that there is some post work, we have to do it. And again, you have to follow the particular sequence. Don't try to be smart about it. So that line, it was stuck with me. So for this focus edition, all I did was follow this particular study plan. Don't, go around it. And it worked.
right. Going more deeper into the section, with RC, CR, PS, IR, and DS. So, would you be able to take us through each of the section? How did you plan around all of these? What material stood out for you? How many questions did you do as a part of practice? How many passages did you solve? How many, questions, problem solving questions did you solve at the most overall?
Yeah, absolutely. So initially, I just followed the study plan given by you in that particular sequence only. And then once I thought that, okay, I was already started getting very good at quant.
Right,
That time, I remembered in one of the quant sessions, Sandeep mentioned that if you think you are getting comfortable with quant, you can immediately jump into the uh, 700 to 800 section, right? That
right.
one.
Yeah,
So I realized that, okay, if I wanted to score like 90, above 90 percentile in quant, getting these difficult questions right was very important for me.
right.
So I just immediately jump into it. And initially, when I was solving all those questions for the very first time, it used to take for me around like 3, 4 minutes. which was not acceptable at all. Because again, you can give only 2 minutes per question at max. So I practiced a lot. One chapter of permutation and combination and probability. I used to be horrible at it,
Okay.
but I realized that since I'm horrible at it, I have to do something about it. So
Right.
I practiced them a lot, and over a period of time, I got better at it. So
You
this was for phone. For verbal, again the same thing. Uh, Initially, I followed the study plan. Then once I was done with the RC guide, I started working on the marathon passages. Marathon passages. So we know that during the exam we only get like 4 RC passages. But I used to attempt 10, 15 RC passages in continuation within one sitting,
right.
and all those uh, again like from 700 to 800 range. So initially the accuracy was very poor for me. Later on, when you start getting the comfort around it, you also know how it is going to appear, what kind of questions they are going to ask, what kind of information you have to retain, what kind of information you have to rely on for inference and all. I just started getting better at it. So again, the same approach. You have to ensure that you have to be comfortable for the 700 to 800 range kind of questions. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Right. So, see, this is true in case of everybody, right? When you're preparing, there could be moments when preparation can be a lot more overwhelming. So, what was fueling the fire to keep going? Like, what kept your motivation blazing on those tough days when the preparation felt extremely overwhelming?
Absolutely. I mean, there were dips a lot. So luckily, Sandeep has also made these videos of KTW available for all of us. It's obviously free of cost. So I have been a big fan of reading non-fiction novels for a long time. I have been reading them for like past 6, 7 years. So initially, when Sandeep mentioned that there are these TTW series, you should at least try to watch them. I was like skeptical that why will I even spend my time over there because I have some preparation for GMAT to do. But I still took a chance. I watched first video, which is of like 5 or 10 minutes, just a brief about how KTW videos are going to work. I was a bit impressed. I was happy that okay, I took a chance. I watched the video, then the second video, third video, fourth video, then whole series. So you won't believe I have watched KTW series for like 4 or 5 times. Whole KTW series.
Wow, that was amazing. What is your
That
key
kept a
takeaways
fire
there?
inside me.
Oh, super. What is the major key takeaways? This is like I want to now know because then I know what KTW magic is all about, but what was it for you? What struck you the most?
The so I found two things very interesting. I mean, the way Sandeep has connected the dots. One thing, how he has explained the evolution, like the invention of fire, and then how we became smart, and then how the brain expanded and everything. The second thing was how the people from Europe, they thought that okay, they wanted to explore the world, and then somehow they gathered that courage and started going around the world, and how they established or rather colonized USA and then the rest of the world.
Right,
And from there on, how the Silicon Valley was established.
right.
So the long chain of thoughts and how he's able to connect the dots throughout. The story was fabulous. I mean, I'm a Hollywood buff, but this was like a better than Hollywood because here you also get to learn lot of things.
Lot of information. Yes. Tomorrow you
Yeah,
want to have any communication or just a small dinner table conversation because this is what happens when you are one of the things people don't realize is that when you are going to be a part of, let's say, an MBA cohort and you have a lot of these dining experience or, social networking that you'll have to do, networking more importantly. And if you want to be a part of any group, and you can't be talking about yourself most many
Absolutely.
times. You have to really talk about a topic that can appeal to everybody, more importantly, of the world. And this empowers you with that thought. It's just so good
Absolutely
that you've done it 5 times. Amazing, amazing. I mean, if this information to Sandeep will be like, he'll be extremely elated.
yeah.
Very happy to hear this. Nevertheless, I'm going to personally convey this as well. Now, on the exam day, before the exam day, of course, I would like you to just emphasize, or rather tell me about your experience of giving mocks, practicing mocks. How did it help? Like, what was your first mock score report? You mentioned that already, but what was the last mock just before the exam that you gave, which then kind of helped you like, acha, now I'm ready, I can go give the exam.
So I I gave this attempt on last Friday, and before that, on Thursday I gave one mock. The score was horrible. It was 635, and before that on Wednesday I attempted one more. The score was 625 again, and before that on Tuesday the score was 735.
Okay. Okay.
So I realized that I was maybe over preparing or overthinking. When I talked to my parents, they told me, okay, Deep, now it seems like you just have to relax because it seems like you are into that range of 98 percentile or maybe 99 percentile. Just that since you are stressing a lot, you should rather relax, don't overthink, and just do your best on GMAT.
Amazing, amazing. And this happened. So on the exam day, right, just give us your experience right from the order that you chose, the test, on the any unfamiliarity in terms of the question or even the environment, like how comfortable were you, just the test experience itself, and did you run out of time? Just take us through the entire exam experience. Yes.
Absolutely. So it seems like in quant, if you prepare these questions of in the range of 700 to 800, right? On the exam day, you can attempt all the quant questions easily within 1 minute. Per
Right.
question, you can hardly take 1 minute.
Right.
In my case, what happened was, on an average, I took 50 seconds to 1 minute for 19 questions. And then I was left with a lot of time. So for two questions, I took 15 minutes roughly. And out of those two questions, one question got wrong. So
Right.
I was going too fast. Then suddenly I hit a bump, and
Right.
I was just not able to register what they are trying to ask. I still tried my best, but then I was not able to register. But I think if you are calm, then and if you are well prepared for this 700 to 800 level of questions for quant, it definitely works. You don't have to rely on any outside material. The top one material is more than enough. That
Right.
is absolutely right for quant.
Right.
Then for verbal, yeah, for verbal, as I mentioned earlier, right? I had prepared for the long passages, the passages which are of four or five paragraphs. But
Right.
here on the GMAT, I was seeing the passages of two paragraphs, three paragraphs. And the paragraphs are also very, very small.
Very short.
And yes, and most of them were of inference type. And inference is still not my strong suit. And I did try my best, but I could sense that I was not able to get them right because uh, if you go by the elimination technique, you should be comfortable eliminating four options out of five.
Right.
I was able to eliminate only three options confidently.
Right.
Last two options, I was not getting that comfort. So that time I realized that okay, verbal is not going as per expectation.
Right.
So that was about verbal. And also on that day, what happened? Uh, my chair was bugging me. So it's like, when you are not performing well, the other kind of things also start getting to your mind, like your surrounding. It's not working out. And so I was like, okay, I have to just cancel out all the background noises and just focus on the exam. Still, I was not able to do that great on verbal, but luckily I had uh, the break of 10 minutes available before the section of DI. So in the break, I just took a small round of walk inside the building. I mean, inside the room only. And I just thought that, okay, whatever happened has happened. Can't do anything about it. All I have left is DI, and I know that DI is a game changer. This is the experience of other folks from top one, right? So I thought, okay, DI is like my strong suit. I have to do something. So I started DI with a very high, high level energy. Luckily, again, if you are very thorough with top one DI, right, in mocks, you will find no problem at all. And again, on an average, the time I took for DI for one question was like 2 minutes. It was more than enough for me. And I was very surprised that, in the mocks, I was not able to get any additional time for review. But here on the exam, I had some 3 or 4 minutes left for review. That was a lucky surprise. I was able to, I think, correct one or two questions in the review. Remaining two, I was not able to because I thought I was right. But yeah, so
Right.
all in all, I can say if you are uh, well prepared with your mocks on top one and well prepared with 700 to 800 range questions, then it should be sorted for you.
Right. So, looking back at your experience, overall experience now, if you want to summarize, what would you believe that the key ingredient or ingredients, say the list of do's and don'ts, that will lead to this successful score, right? So, something that you would personally would want to change as well as a part of do's and as a part of don'ts. And this is a personal recommendation for any students who are looking to prepare. Or almost on their way to give their exam.
Absolutely. So the key part over here is maintaining the consistency. I mean, most of the time we folks are working professionals, right? So we think that okay, we can rely on weekends, we can have some long hour session, but it does not work at all. So at every day, at least you should be able to contribute. I mean, dedicate like 2 or maybe 2.5 hours at least. And also, especially for the verbal, you should be able to solve any RC passage even if somebody is waking up you at like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in morning. If you are getting to that kind of comfort, then only you should attempt GMAT. Based on GMAT, anything can happen on the detail. So yeah, maintaining the consistency is very important. Second thing, whatever study plan has been provided by you, you have to abide by it. It works. There is no question about it. And the third thing is, yeah, I mean, you should not overthink. If you think that you are in that range, just that go and attempt your exam. That's it, and it is going to work for you.
Right. So, Deep, I'm so glad that we are having this conversation. You really come across as an epitome of a warrior, to say the least, in life, epitome of strength. And more importantly, I totally loved the attitude of, wanting the best in whatever you put your, eyes and sight to. Of course, in the space of things that has given you, like in the realm of vision that you've had, you always wanted the best. Now, JP Morgan happened, and you met one of your colleague, and that kind of just led to a global MBA. And I hope, that doesn't stop there, and you get the absolute best in the world that has to offer. We are extremely and exceptionally grateful that you trusted Sandeep sir in this process, of your journey. And we're really happy that, you got the score. And one of the things that, yeah, I always want to, I have to congratulate you on the team's behalf. But one of the things that I really want and wish personally that, you get the best of the admit, right? And I hope that admit comes very soon before this year ends, or hopefully before the first quarter of next year, right? And really something great can happen to you. That's we truly want from the bottom of our heart, right? You have shown extreme amount. I mean, the struggles is not just in the GMAT preparation, but all throughout. What resilience, Deep. I mean, I can't go without saluting you, and definitely have inspired in many other things that not just GMAT. So anybody who will be listening to this conversation, the struggles are real, dear friends. I mean, and whatever struggle that you're going through, maybe work, whatever, I'm not going to underwhelm anybody, but look at him. You know, you are a real hero here. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing this story, Deep. Extremely happy, and we'll look forward to that admit happening soon.
Also, I have one special request. If you can convey my message to Sandeep sir, that
Absolutely.
uh, I love this line, which he has mentioned a lot in KTW session. He has told multiple times that, if you are in a room with a room full of Nobel laureates, you should be able to try the conversation that, even a Nobel laureate can come to you and talk to you. With that thing, it has been still there, and I mean, there is no other beautiful line, more beautiful line than this. So it's really good.
Absolutely. Everybody's time is very precious here, right? And especially when you're going and reaching people who've already achieved, to be able to get some time with you, you should be able to contribute and get more attention as well by giving right kind of information. You can't just bring in noise to them where they've already put filters, right? But
Absolutely.
yes, absolutely. So amazing, Deep. And I will convey this message. I'm going to take a small video of this conversation separately, send it to Sir, sure. But overall, again, thank you so much for joining in today. We'll stay connected. Really, whatever you do in life, I would really be, rooting for you and shouting, giving a shout out in whatever you do. I'm, genuinely happy that we have had this conversation. Thank you again.
Thank you.